Anxiety. Tremendous amount of anxiety. I wish I had 10 ways to stop anxiety and to just chill out. Hey, here it is. It's 7 a.m. Stay tuned. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, John Henry Soto here. It is April 23rd, 2021, and it is 7 a.m. And we are here this morning to discuss a few things that I think are going to be helpful to everyone. I know they're helpful to me. A lot of people ask me why I do this. I have no sponsors. I have no. It's just something that people ask me all the time, and I think about it sometimes, and I wonder, well, why do I do this? But what I've realized is that it's sort of like a. This is sort of like a win-win for me doing this show every morning. I do this Monday through Fridays at 7 a.m. Live. It's not a recorded thing. This is happening right now in real time as you're watching this at 7 a.m. You might listen to the podcast later or to the show later. And I thank you for that. I appreciate you. Please make a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Appreciate you. But I do this really because I know that it helps someone. I know I've actually have received messages, and if I can help one person with anything or entertain them or make them feel better or give them some hope about a certain decision they made or a situation in their lives, that's worth it for me. It also, in return, on a selfish note, it makes me feel good. I feel almost it's very therapeutic to get these things out because when I'm I try not to preach because preaching is not my thing, but I want to give actual factual assistance in life with things that actually I know work because I've done them for 20 plus years of my life, specifically my religion, but at the same time, just life in general. I wasn't a huge mess when I was a teenager either. I do a lot of talks about the Way to Happiness booklet, which you can get a free copy if you message me, email me at johnhenrysoto at protonmail.com, and I will send out a copy for you. You could even get an electronic copy sent out to you, and it will give you some tools to apply and to help you, um, navigate through life, right? Which is what we're all doing right here. So, when people ask me why do I do it, it's those reasons. It's not just for me, it's also to help others, but there's a win-win, there's a give and give here. I feel like I'm giving help and it's giving me a wonderful feeling to know that others are being benefited and that I'm being entertaining. Sometimes I'm not entertaining, sometimes I'm kind of just like and that's okay. Sometimes I have a specific thing I just want to communicate, and I communicate it. But most of the time, people seem to enjoy what I'm saying. I hope anyway. But we are here today. It is Friday, um, and Friday is always one of those days that I look at because I have to take my kids to the homeschooling program that we belong to. And every Friday they meet in a classroom, and it's sort of like a regular school kind of a day. And the rest of the days we do the homeschooling at home. So Fridays is a little bit nuts for me. And my wife is back at work, so she's not here to help out in the mornings to get them ready. So I gotta wrap up here, go make some lunches, go make some snacks, wake them up, get them dressed. So Fridays, that's my Friday. And then afterwards, I have a meeting with a councilman here from Bayonne, New Jersey, a really great person. I'm really excited to have a conversation with him and discuss the future. So that is my Friday. I hope your Friday is going well and active and you're doing things that you love. And let's get to this. So let's say you're stressed out and having trouble breathing, which used to happen to me. I used to be like, I think I'm having a heart attack. This is it. This is it. I know it. I feel it. And what do you do to kind of overcome that, right? Now, there's a lot of specific things that you can do when you know what's happening with your body, right? So we're gonna go over a couple of them today. We're gonna go over 10 of them. I'm gonna go quickly here. Again, always you can find these things that I'm talking about. This is actually from calmclinic.com. They're not promoting drugs or anything like that because I don't use drugs for things unless it's absolutely necessary, which that's a different case. But so we're gonna start with number one, and then I'll read a little bit, and then make a few comments, and then we'll go to number two. So, all right, the first thing you do, okay, you're freaking out, you're having. First thing you have to really try to stay in the moment is you have to control your breathing. Now, I know that sounds well, yeah, okay, but I don't mean like you see people when they have anxiety or when they're pressured. That's an obvious one, right? When that's obvious, right? But a lot of people don't know that controlling your breathing, sometimes you're not realizing that you're not controlling your breathing. You're holding your breath on certain moments because you're stressed out and you're not aware. And awareness is a big key factor to this. Um, that you're holding your breath or that you're breathing irregularly. And that to me is one of the main things that you have to kind of like chill out with. And I've had situations in my life where I was so stressed out because I had, things were happening and I felt like I was not in control of my life. Take a deep breath, look around, think of something that makes you feel like there's hope. Think of your family, think of the blessings that you've had, but really control your breathing. That's number one. Okay. Breathe in slowly and gently through the nose for about 5 to 7 seconds. Hold it for about 3 to 4 seconds. Let it out. Breathe out slowly and gently. Um, you know, and for about 7 seconds, do that. Then wait for about 7 to 9 seconds and then do it again. Repeat this exercise 10 to 20 times. This method of breathing will ensure you that you're not hyperventilating because hyperventilating is a problem that's what's caused with anxiety, right? You can't control it and it will regain your CO2 balance, which is really what you need in order to stay standing and to stay awake. So you won't actually do what happens to people is they faint, right? Now that's when it becomes a really big anxiety, right? But imagine if you're constantly not controlling your breath and not controlling your breathing. Your heartbeat is that I'm not a doctor, by the way. I have to say I'm not a doctor. This is only for entertainment purposes. I have to say that so I don't get sued. But this is a method that will help you. You can actually read more about this. You can actually go visit your doctor and ask your doctor, "Hey, is it a good idea that I breathe? Should I just start breathing better?" The doctor would probably be like, "Well, breathing might help, but I have a medicine that's really going to help you breathe." Just kidding. Some doctors are great. Um, Number two, talk to someone friendly. This is something that this is a new thing. um, it's difficult sometimes because you don't think right there when you have who's friendly. I remember a couple of weeks ago I did a show about your environment and auditing the 5 people around you. Well, that comes into play here too because you may think that that person is a friend, but really you have to look deep inside. You have to look and see your situation. Am I going to feel better when I talk to this person? This person's always negative about stuff. I'm not going to call that person. Call you go to walk down to a local church, find a nice happy minister, a pastor, a priest, somebody that will sit there and listen to you. If you can't find a friend or someone to talk to, you just need a small conversation. You don't have to take up a lot of people's time. You can just say, you know what, I want to go talk to somebody. I feel a little bit uneasy right now. I'm going to go talk to somebody. And you go and have a nice conversation with somebody friendly. Now, number three is try some aerobic exercises. Now, this is actually good because it burns away stress and hormones can that create anxiety symptoms. Right, exercises your muscles, reduces excess energy and tension. Um, your endorphins in the brain can be which can improve your overall mood. Right, and it's a healthy distraction as well. So run in place. Man, I'm so stressed out. I'm gonna go run in place. Go to the gym if you're a gym person. Um, do 10 push-ups. Do something to kind of get your body moving. So your body, your flow, you're more in control of it. It's something that you actually can control. Run in place, whatever it takes. That's number three. Number four is find what relaxes you. Now, there are certain things that people enjoy. People enjoy things that relax them. A nice for me, even though coffee is a stimulant and it actually does increase your heart rate. This relaxes me. Watch. Oh, I'm so relaxed right now. I can take a nap. But find something that actually does that for you. So it could be listening to music. It could be again, it could be talking to a friend. You can combine some of these things. It can be working out. Some people feel really good when they work out. It could be a yoga class. It could be a meditation if you're meditating. It could be a massage if you like massages. Any of those things will help. um, Now, this next one was on the list here. I don't know anything about it. It's aromatherapy and essential oils. I do know that there's some benefit to deeply smelling good things. I don't know exactly the specifics of it, but that's something that you can find on your own. This is number five. They recommend lavender, cedarwood. We have a cedarwood closet. Maybe I just lock myself in there. Um, Actually, I do that. Just kidding. I don't do that. Learn how to manage number six. Learn how to manage your anxiety, your anxious thoughts. Well, this is where it gets tricky, right? Well, how do you do that? If anybody can do that, then that'd be pretty easy, right? You never be stressed out. You just learn how to manage your anxious thoughts. Well, there are certain things that you can do. Obviously, through our church, we have what's called auditing, which is something that you do with another person that gets you through um, those moments of turmoil. They help you actually navigate. They don't tell you what you are or tell you you're a classic case of this, and you actually find that for yourself, and you find that thing in you that's troubling you, and then you clean it up. Okay, that's done through our church, but there's other things that you can do. You can if you're good on if you're disciplined enough where you can sit down and write yourself a checklist of questions, asking yourself about things. What is my current situation? But I mean, this takes a little bit more, right? This is really a higher awareness level that you need to have to in order to be able to sit down, grab a pen and paper, and start writing down things while you're feeling stressed out, right? But you can do other things to get to this point, right? You can breathe, right? You can do some physical exercises like we talked about. Find something that relaxes you, right? A cup of tea, a cup of cocoa, things like that. Yoga, all those kind of things that relaxes you. Once you get to that point, whatever is stressing you out is not gone. You got to remember that didn't resolve just because you did that. Although sometimes it can resolve, right? Your own calmness can actually handle things around you, right? But you still have to resolve that. So at that point, when you start getting okay, all right, okay, I feel better now. I got my tea, I got my paper. I'm gonna start writing down this situation, and you start taking responsibility for it, and you start managing those anxiety thoughts. Okay. Number seven is listen to good music. Now, this is something that I do when I'm stressed out. I've been doing this since I don't even remember when I started doing this. It just seems like I've always done it. um Whatever it was, I was just enjoying the music part of it. And sometimes for me right now, it's really difficult to listen to people when they're talking to me when music is playing. And I know I upset some people, and so especially my wife. But if a song is on and I have my headset on, or I usually wear one little earpiece and I have music going on in my ear during the day. But if I have this thing going and somebody's talking to me, but I'm really into this right now, it's really difficult for me to break away. I have to stop the song and I have to then focus on what I'm saying, because music really does bring me to a beautiful place, and I'm very happy there. So listening to good music really helps. Um, this next one, I don't know anything about. Learn grounding techniques. So, progressive muscle reaction. This is a technique which can help you learn to relax. People who experience anxiety are often holding tension in their body throughout the day. So, by learning to release that tension, you feel relaxed and you can combat your day of anxiety as they arise. Um, the more you practice, the easier this will get. This exercise consists of tensing certain muscle groups and then relaxing them. So that is grounding techniques. There's also a thing called a body scan. I don't know what the hell that is, but the purpose of this grounding technique is to help you raise awareness of your body and what is going on in it. The focus is not on feelings, good, bad, painful, pleasurable, etc., but rather that you notice there is a sensation, tingling. Well, I'm not sure what that is. I can't recommend any of these things because I really don't know what these things are. Number 9 is make love. Oh yeah. When I get that feeling, I want that sexual healing. All right. Well, this is not a myth. Sexual intercourse can be incredibly calming. It is a distracting physical activity, so it kind of goes in with the other ones. Um, that releases endorphins and helps you feel more relaxed and less tense. So if you have someone special, yeah, that's the thing. You have to have someone special, right? It's not just saying like, make love. All right, what am I gotta get to? Let me get down to the shop right and see if I see that cashier I really like. Let's see if she's willing. I'm just gonna talk to her. Yeah, you can't do that. You have to have somebody, and that might actually be what you're anxious about, right? So there's a lot of things that kind of go into play with this. So anyway, make love is number 9. Number 10 is living in today. So I'm going to read this one. It says, finally, simply learning to live for today can impact your anxiety. Um, It is important to understand that anxiety is a normal part of life. It is something that everyone experiences. It is when anxiety interferes with daily functions that it becomes unhealthy. When your focus is on your fears and worries about the future, it robs you of the present. Each day becomes trying to live with anxiety instead of trying to live in general. Learning to accept that you have anxiety and trying to live in a great and exciting life, trying to live a great and exciting life anyway is important. And what's interesting is that if you can learn to have that mindset, to let yourself experience the fear and try to live the life anyway, you will find that your anxiety tends to dissipate with it. It's not a cure, but it is close. All right. So, there is a lot of things that you can do. These are just some things that I saw on an article that I was reading that I thought was interesting. I read a lot of articles that pop up on my feed on social media, whatever, and I go in and I read them. They're usually 3 to 5 minute reads. Um, and it gives me content for my shows and things like that. If I read something that I think has some value in it, which I think this did have some value in it, there are things in it that I don't. The aromatherapy thing, I have no idea what the hell that is. I don't know if that does anything. Sniffing something, sniffing something. That sounds weird. That sounds like a good name for a record for an album. My new album, Sniffing Something, John Henry Soto on the Columbia label. But there's a lot of things that you can do to actually chill out and to relax, right? And I think that you have to first kind of realize that um, people long time ago, way before we were here, we're going through a lot of things that are much more stressful than our current state of living here on this planet, where we are right now in modern society, right? In countries like America and Europe and those kinds of populated cities. We have it a lot easier. We have stores. I can go down right now. I can go down to 7-Eleven. I can go down to ShopRite. I can go down. There's aisles and aisles of food that I can purchase. You can go out and try to find work if you can't find work. You can go do something to, where this wasn't really available, 100 years ago, right? It was a different world. Things were much tougher. There was local shops that you had to go to, and that's where you had to get your stuff. And if that local shop guy went out of business, then you had to go searching for, where am I going to get my food? Before that, 100 years before that, there was only farming, right? You had to make sure you were good with the farmer, and you had to either work on a farm, or you were, you know, um, living somewhere near where there was fresh fruits and vegetables and things. So the lives that we're living today are much, much different. They're better overall. Yes, there are a lot of problems. Social problems are there, created usually by people themselves, actually. And if you really dive into the social issues, you can see that the social issue is not what the media is saying, but it's just that, watching TV, watching news, or can be extremely unhealthy. It increases anxiety, it makes you feel stressed, it makes you feel hopelessness. So that's something you can cut out. That's number 11, basically. Stop watching the news and reading things. Just live your life. It when it impacts your life and it stops you from doing things that you love to do, you have to go look at those things and be like, why is this making me feel this way? And that's where you have to really start making your decisions, because it's preventing you from living a happy life. And if you have people around you that you're responsible for, or that depend on you, or rely on you, then it's your responsibility to get yourself to a point that you can function properly, so you can help these people. You're responsible for my family. I can't be walking around stressed out all the time. I have to find ways to overcome it, and I have to stop being a baby, right? Basically, that's what I tell myself. I'm like, let me just stop. If I get stressed out about something, I just got to stop and be like, I got to rise above it. I'm bigger than this problem. I'm more powerful than the problem. So why can't I resolve the problem? Having that viewpoint has really just changed my life, because I've been able to, like, figure things out. Especially, I have a lot of training in areas, and I understand certain things about people around me, and I feel that I can help others. And having that ability is like a little bit of a superpower, because I can then apply it to myself, and I can help myself help others. And that's really what we're here for. We're here to help each other, you know. And when you really have yourself, that's when you can go and help others. You can't help someone when your life is in disarray, or when you're having the stresses and anxieties, and you're not valuable to someone else. And being of value is a major goal for us as spiritual beings. And lastly, we are spiritual beings. Whether you believe that or not, it really doesn't matter. There's a lot of proof, there's a lot of even scientific things that you can see on the planet to prove that there's a spirit, and that the spirit goes on. Now, the religion that you have may have you do other things, and so maybe, I hear people say sometimes that I don't like religion, organized religion, right? That's what they say. I don't like organized religion. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about you as a spiritual being, putting out positive energy to help others, and others helping you. That exists, and that will always exist for a long time, and it has been existing for a very long time. So confront that, you know, make that part of your journey as well. Find that. If anybody has any questions, of course, you can always email me at johnhenrysoto@protonmail.com. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you, have a video chat call, and explain to you what I'm talking about in further detail. All right, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. We spend this time together here, and I feel privileged that you are giving of your time to me to hear me. It's just an honor for me to do that. So I really appreciate all of you that are listening to this. And I wish you all the best. I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Make today great. Do the things that you love. Take care of yourselves. And as always,